What's up, Rockstars? Today I'm coming to unbox a huge game for you. This is a long time coming. I'll explain the situation a little bit. I just wanted to show off Sawyer over here because he might be a little loud if you hear any ruffling or barking or whatever. That's this guy. So apologies ahead of time, but I'm sure you can forgive him, right? Right, Sawyer? Right. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, now as always, I'd like to start out with a huge thank you to my YouTube members and patrons. It is through their financial support that I'm able to stay independent so that I give you my honest coverage on board games and not my wallet's coverage on board games, because I don't take any money from any board game developer. So if you appreciate that, then there is a link down below where you can join one of them and get some of the benefits, join the crazy Discord that I run and all that other good stuff. Until then though, a like, a comment, all that really does help, and I greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Now, you guys... I'm going to come up here now and rearrange the camera a little bit. Alright, I think that's about as good as we're going to get it here and still be able to focus on the box. I'll go into the top-down view once I actually get this open. Anyway, this is Chronicles of Drunagor. So this was actually not how you guys are going to get it. You guys are going to get it from the factory. But this is actually the copy that they sent over to the team at Creative, and they sent it to me to unbox it because they had to go run off and deal with some personal family stuff. So I said, yeah, sure, go ahead and send it over. I'll unbox it. I'll take a look at the game and everything, let you guys know all about it, show it off to you guys. It looks like a lot, a big labor of love for sure. I love these indie games like this, just these kind of this would not be possible without Kickstarter kind of stuff. I love it. Okay, so he did a pretty good job packing this. Now, all of this is new. Not all of it is wrapped, though, because the factory just didn't wrap all of it when they sent it over. That's what I've been told. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this box. I'll show you kind of some of this stuff here. There's a lot here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so right off the bat is the big game itself here. My dog got a hold of this, so I had to keep that. Okay, where was I? Let's see, we have the Desert of Hellscar expansion here. I'm going to set that down here. There's going to be a lot here. We got, oh my gosh, so much stuff. We got another expansion here. Another expansion. Another expansion. Oh, another expansion. Yeah, so much. Okay. Alright, hold on. That's actually a little bit more room here. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. One last one. That's like a meme, I'm sure. And then a big old empty box. So let's go ahead and dive into all of this. Alright, so now we have the Chronicles of Drunagor. This is just the main Age of Darkness game. Again, it's by Creative Game Studios who sent this to me. Oh, it is super heavy. I mean, this is dense, is what this is. I hear a little bit of movement, so it'll be interesting to see what's in there, but it's also not wrapped. I'm kind of moving it around. On the back, we have kind of a CG render of the whole thing going on here. You have the 3D boards and all the cards and stuff like that and equipment and whatnot. And it lists everything you get here, and then a whole big old spiel about the game. This product is not a toy, 1 to 5 players, 15 minutes per player. Notice that's really quick. 14 plus years old. Very cool. So anyway, and game trays inside. Oh gosh, wow. Okay. Whew. And there we go. Alright, trying to be careful there. Let's go and open it up. This reminds me a lot of the Black Rose Wars box size-wise. Like, it's just this really tall game, but it does slide up really good. It's a very smooth finish here, so it does show all these kind of like little things there. The, where you slide it around and stuff like that. Okay, it is packed to the brim. Actually slightly above here, based off these cards and this this book. So let's see, we got the whole bunch of cards here. We got the rule book, which is not as thick as it looks. So it was attached to that. This is very thematic. So right off the bat, in the back, there is no index. This is how you open up rule books from the back. Tokens. Oh, wait. What's this? Conditions, effects, and keyword glossary. This is close. It needs a C page 22. That's nice here. But a lot of this doesn't necessarily have a C page. So not an index, but hopefully still fairly usable. A lot of art. Let's see, and let's go on to the front now. Let's see if they have a game component list. I always like a game component list, and ideally... Oh, look! An index. Now, wait. Is this an index? No, this is not an index. So this is a table of contents. An index is in alphabetical order. It has more than just the headers, and it will list every page it's mentioned on, not just one. A table of contents is something like this, where it's the different headers. So Chronicles of Drunagor, Age of Darkness, and then this header here. So this is by header, and then subheader, you know, like an H1, H2, H3, all that kind of stuff. And then it's just the page number it's in. So don't be fooled. This is not quite an index. My understanding is a lot of times it's a language barrier. I wasn't aware of that. This is cool. So they have a little QR code here. It says, learn to play Chronicles of Drunagor by watching our gameplay videos. That's very nice to see right in here. I like seeing that. Looks like it starts with a little synopsis. And then look at that. Perfect. Here's a game component list with the both things I like. A picture, and then also the actual words of what that is. And that's really nice to see. So that when I know you're talking about level up cards, you mean these specific cards. Because I can see both the picture. My dog keeps trying to get into stuff, and the text here, which is nice. I really enjoy that. 44 map tiles. That's a ton. That's really nice. Okay, start your campaign, knowing your hero. I like any rulebook that starts really high level. Just tell me kind of the basics, right? And then you can dive into like super specific. Setting up your first adventure. Perfect. Looks like they have some nice arrows and color diagrams and everything like that. Yeah, this looks good. I'm for just a perusal. This looks not too bad. And more QR codes. Again, that's super nice to see. I wonder where that takes you. Great to see that level of usefulness inside of the rulebook. Numbered areas where they're kind of talking about it. That's nice. Again, a whole lot of different examples of that. That being said, this is actually a fairly hefty rulebook. How many pages do we got here before we go to like conditions? So, this is 46 pages by the looks of it. Really is the or 44 until you get to the alternative play modes. So a decent sized rulebook here. The binding, by the way, here is very nice actually. Yeah, you can actually kind of feel the binding here, which I like. And again, I mean it's themed all the way across, so I like that too. All right, put that to the side. The adventure book. Now this is thicker. Let's actually move this out so I can get a little bit farther away. You can actually see the whole thing. Here we go. And I'm a little bit more comfortable too. And again, super themed. Love the art. Skulls with crowns. I'm all about. That is fine there. So we got chapters, game modes, chapter 1, all the way to chapter 18, Encounter with Evil. The interactions, battlegrounds for player versus player stuff. Super cool to see. So here's chapter 1, The Road to Black River. A huge kind of story blob here, kind of an info dump. And then it looks like, wasn't there, I guess that was that first page here on game modes. Okay, so then you have darkness spawning rule, darkness behavior. You have kind of the first tile setup here. I got some enemies here. It would be nice to have an explanation of how to use this. It might be in the rule book. A lot of times they'll put it here in the beginning of the adventure book where they'll say, here's how to read this. Here's what all this stuff means. That's probably in the rule book. I'm sure they still explain it. Let's see, and then chapter 2, look at that, we have like an interaction thing where we got this whole thing here. Is this does this label the POIs? Yes, it does. Yeah, so see, so you can like interact and do different things with the people. I'm not going to go past this page, so because I don't really want to spoil too much, but I love this idea. Essentially, you can go to these points of interest, and then you like zoom in, and you're like, okay, now you're talking to this person. You can do different things, whether it's a statue, whether it's a person. Really interested to see how that works out. Okay. Oh my gosh, you see the art here, by the way? Look at that. That is what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. Oh man, those dudes are not having fun. But I think it's cool. Now we have a start here. Now the start here's below everything, but that's all right. So we got, this is the open play guide. So it would have been nice to have on top of those two, but that's okay. Either way, it's great to have something like this. So preparing the board stuff, just kind of a very basic high level stuff. So you go into the rule book with some knowledge, which is actually kind of nice. You see there's something about the POI. Look at the art, by the way. I love this style. It's like slightly cartoony, but still serious as well. Actually really digging that art style. I don't know what artists they used, but I actually like that quite a bit. Okay. These colors are good, assuming those are the same color, which I think they are. Because as I'm slightly colorblind, but I can tell all those apart just fine. So we're good there. Next up, we have an advert for their next stuff. That's right, Apocalypse is coming. That is freaking sweet. That being said, that is like super advanced. That chain, we'll see how that is. There's spacing between the chain that looks improbable, though it really depends on, I guess, the scale and what material they're using and all that. We'll have to find out more. If they can pull that off, that'd be great, but that might end up being filled in too if they're just using some PVC stuff. Same with how skinny this is. So we'll see. Maybe it's doing some ABS. We'll have to take a look. Either way, that's impressive. I like that. Love the blurb there. Now they are taking a liking from Awakened Realms, it seems, with this kind of nice paper letter from the team here. I'm not going to read it. You can pause it and read that if you want, or you can wait until your copy. That is fine. I'll read that after filming. I'm not going to do it right now. And then a player's aid chart. So this is just like a piece of paper, like from the rulebook. It even feels like a rulebook piece of paper. But it has the like attack rolls and spin, so you can have this out while you play and have kind of all this information here. That's kind of nice. It's a little big, you know. You always got to worry about table space, but I'm glad that they're paying attention and trying to add stuff like that to everything. Okay, so back in here, let's see. We got things wrapped up pretty well here. Let's see. We got some tiles. We got some campaign sheets. Now look at this. Look how many there are here, please. This does not cost a whole lot. They can comment if they want to and say how much this costs them, but I imagine not much at all. Like this is most probably one of the cheaper things in this entire box, and look how many they have. That's what I want. I don't want to see no 5. I don't want to see no 10. Give me a thick stack of campaign pages where I can track, you know, my person and all that kind of stuff. Make this last. I don't want to photocopy nothing. I don't want to download and print nothing. I want you to hand it to me like this. This is great. Love it. Okay, let's go ahead and I don't know. Let's try to stay over because I already got this out. Let's see what's going on here. We're gonna take a little bit more look into it. This is a very fancy wrapping for a spiral bound book. That's kind of nice. Go ahead and open this up. Easy open. So far, I have been actually quite impressed. I guess I will add, but you guys know, like I'm free to say anything I want. In fact, they stressed that they want me to do my kind of honest take and do all that kind of stuff, and that's what I'm doing. So you guys know, and really, to me, that's a sign of confidence. From what I can tell right now, these look big enough. Sometimes, like in the Solomon Kane one, I found these were too small. So I'll open this up and kind of see. Interactions book. Oh, look, this is just, okay. I'm not gonna do more than one page after this, but I want to kind of fold it. Oh yeah, that folds like a gem. That's awesome. We'll do one more. That's it though. Okay. No. All right. There we go. Oh, that is beautiful. That folds great. That is fantastic. That's really nice. That's exactly what I'd want. This is quite skinny, so you want to maybe be a little careful when it comes to flipping that. I just noticed it might be able to bend a little bit. It looks like there's some text on the back. Be good there. Credits, and then some kind of map thing. Very cool. I like this. That's nice. An interesting format too, how wide it is. I think it's just to kind of show off the art a little bit more than anything, because it could shrink down. Again, in a review, I'll tell you if there's a table, a size issue or spacing issue or anything like that. Or we've got a ton of tokens, or they are wrapped, and they're wrapped fairly tight, so there's a little bit of a bow here. That doesn't mean the tokens themselves are bent, though. We'll check that. From what I can feel right now, I feel like this is maybe okay quality, not super, but not bad. But I guess we'll see. It looks like a little bit of bending here. I just don't feel a ton of like sponginess. Like the Bloodborne ones I had, you could literally squeeze them and like compress the air out of them. They were so So spacious. Let's go and see how this is. If I can carefully open it. Maybe right here. Maybe that's enough even. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? Aha, yes. Perfect. There we are. There we are. There we are. There we are. Okay. I can already feel it like starting to move here. Okay. And we'll go. Oh, look at that. Oh man. Oh. So a patron of mine was just showing me they finally got Bloodborne. They were punching it out, and about 50% of them when they did that would hang just like that. So let's see how many of these. Looks like maybe about just as much by the looks of it. So these small ones are tagged a little bit more. That being said, these are very like just a feather attached. Definitely less than what he was experiencing, what I experienced. Let's go ahead and take a little zoom in look at this. Okay, so here you can see the component quality here. The print seems good. As far as I can tell, that looks nice on the back side as well. You can see the little tag right there. Very, very small. When it comes to this, there's a tiny bit of give, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit worse towards the edges. You can really kind of press down on it a little bit. But this is definitely better than what I got from Command lately, from their Bloodborne game. So definitely a step above that. I'd put these as just normal, right? It's not super great, but not bad either. It's just a perfectly fine token. I'm okay with this. But any lower and I'd have an issue, but this right here is fine. And the color on this is actually quite good. Okay, so we're going to zoom out a little bit. Let's go ahead and... Oh, lose tokens. Got it. All right. Punch out a... Let's go and get rid of these. I mean, again, that's barely... Okay, let's punch some of the bigger ones. Now, these... Anything else that's bigger, it looks like for the most part is coming down. Maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. That's about... It's just the red ones. Yeah, no, this seems pretty darn good to me. But I love the colors, actually. That is a bright red and green. Actually, I like dark red as a color, but for distinguishing game pieces, that looks great. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that's interesting to pop out, shape-wise or size-wise that we might be interested in. Here we go. Let's do the big old track here. Why not? This is like already starting to come out here. Oh man, that actually came out beautifully, which is good because this is something you're going to be using every single game. There's a few tags, you know, here and here, barely noticeable. Overall, this is quite good. A little bendy, right? It's not, again, it's just kind of, it's fine. Good coloration, not too shiny. I'm trying to, there, that's about as shiny as it gets. Not super gloss, but not like a matte linen, you know, thing. Or in fact, I find linen to be, I actually get annoyed when they do linen because to me, it seems like it reflects more, and I'm not appreciative of that. Okay, now there are, I think. Okay, yeah, so this is a little thing right in here. There we go. Oh, that came out super clean. There's not even a tag on that sucker. And right here as well. And this is, I think, for the 3D portion of it is what's going on here. And then it looks like this is probably all in piece 2 then, with the same thing. Yes. Oh, man, that's nice, actually. I'm actually liking these more the more I mess with, specific ones like this. If you recall... I'm trying to remember what game I took out, but it like split. These split when I took them out. I think it was it a Starcadia quest? Was that it? Again, I think it was another Kaban one, but I mean, they just did not hold. And this is actually really holding. I'm trying to see now. You can start seeing the separation, but even then, it's not separating on the end here. There's actually. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit to talk to you guys about this, because I've noticed this in a few. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to cardboard, no nearly as much. You can see the layers and all that here, right? And that's separating fairly okay. This on the end is still solid. And if you look, there's actually like it doesn't feel like wood. It's a little glued. There's some kind of protective coating on the sides here that are different. Like it's really, I gotta like break through it to get to it. And even then, like right above that, it looks still kind of shiny there. I don't know if it's staying in focus for you guys, but anyway, it's actually quite good. Yes, I mean, I can do this and notice the end is staying staying flat because it's like has some kind of glue on it or Mod Podge, or I'm not sure what. Something is holding that together. Maybe it's just compressed more. I'm never quite sure. If you understand the inner workings of cardboard, feel free to tell me, because I would love to know. Because I noticed that on a few of them. Sometimes you'll feel the cardboard, and sometimes it's just from a rough cut, right? And like here, I feel that cardboard, right? Whereas here, I do not. Like that doesn't feel. If I do it in camera, this doesn't quite feel like it's in. Like that doesn't feel like wood at all. Anyway, probably more than you cared about tokens, but you should be warned that's just going to be this video. Little specific about things. Let's go and set this down here. I'm going to set this down over here. Over here. There we go. And let's see what else is here. Okay, more of these kind of flexy tile things here. Move my knife. Stay safe. All right. We got some, zoom out. Way too close. There we are. Okay. Got some character cards. Oh, a nice, I love how big this is. So one of the things that irks me is when I get these and it's like this big, so I have to like put my fingers in there and they're like I want to stick my whole hand in there. That is awesome. Love that size. That's very nice. This seems to be put on there really good. Sometimes you get those like iron-on shiny thing. This is not that. This is a little bit nicer quality, so it doesn't like mess up or anything like that. These drawstrings are not flat. They're actually thick. Oh, very resistant, actually. Very nice. I like this. Very cool. And it's in the core box. It's not like a Kickstarter exclusive, extra, whatever junk, you know, expansion thing or anything like that. And then we have the game trays. Before I get into this, so it looks like it's just more of these tiles. Let's go ahead and look at some of those tiles, or I guess whatever they are. I think they're tiles, but they're very, very flat and flimsy, which I'm kind of surprised. But I think they go on like the 3D portion, so I think that's why they're like that, which is actually really cool then. Like I'll be really interested. Oh man, look at the art on that. Oh my goodness, that is so nice. So this is a linen, and as you can see, it is shinier. I always find linen to be a little bit shinier, though it feels very nice. And then on the back is an alternate one. This is actually, it feels like plastic is what it feels like. Don't know exactly what it's made out of. I think it's a cardstock, kind of like a poster board kind of material. But as you can hear, like it doesn't even really sound like paper. It's actually a lot more robust than I would have thought, as thin as it is. But it looks like it won't really take a curl or anything like that too bad. So it looks like it's pretty good. This is actually really nice. I would love for player boards, like what we get a lot of times with these kind of flat sheet player boards, to be made out of this material. This is very nice. Very nice. And again, I think it's that, I don't know if it's plastic or what, but it's very, oh man, look at the color it can hold too. That's great. Interesting to have the separation between the tiles. That is kind of interesting to do. And then this is just repeated, which is, I guess, kind of interesting. I like this one more because it's not like repeated, at least not in an overt way. But as you can see, all digital art here. You know, it's very digital, but man, the perspective you can get on some of these is great. Like look at this one. If you're looking for some books, there you go. Here's some books here. Trying to see. So this is kind of weird here. So these are angled this way, and this one's angled this way, and then this one's flat. Okay, these are knocked over. I got it. I was like, wait a second, what is that? I gotcha. These are nice. I'm not going to bother with the smaller ones because the bigger ones are what would show an issue with thickness, right? As it gets, you know, a larger surface area. Once the smaller the thing is, the more it can handle being skinny. So I'm fine with that. That being said, there are a ton. They are numbered. They do have symbols on them. Looks cool. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some character sheets. And yeah, we're gonna look at the minis. We're gonna look at those up close. This core box is gonna be the longest. I should have timestamps down there for you for everything else, so you can look at specific expansions or go back or forward or anything like that. Same exact material. I love it. This is super nice.
I'm actually really digging this. If you're going to have skinny boards like this, it definitely needs to be something like this and not some plain cardstock like what this is probably, right? Like, because these are used so much, especially because you're going to be blocking some of these, if I recall correctly. I remember covering the Kickstarter quite a bit, actually, once it was live. And these can become locked or unlocked and stuff like that, so you're interacting with them a lot. It looks like they are double-sided. This is kind of interesting. And the only reason I say that, okay, so this is a male-female version of the same thing. So you can't have two elf assassins, probably human cleric male again. This is just a different race, but it looks like on that. That's kind of interesting. Are they different? Yes, they are very different. So it just depends on which character you want. So if you're playing the elf assassin, you play this version or this version. This gets poison blade and corrupted knives. This gets deep lunge and poison blade, right? So there's differences there. I love that the art is almost all the way, actually it is kind of down to the feet. It's just covered up by some UI a little bit. And the reason I like that is because as a painter, you don't always get to see the bottom of the feet, right? Or even like, normally it's like torso up. And so you're like, well, what color are their pants? I don't know. You gotta go find some art. So this is kind of interesting. The human ranger, you only have her. There's no double side to it. I don't know if there's any more like that. This is just like him with some hair gel. Kidding, of course. Okay, and then we have, looks like the Undead King here, and then a whole bunch of different trackers there, and then the camp. For all these steps, every camp phase, and then some more trackers there. Okay. So that's it. Like in the core, I'm sure they add more and all these plethora of other stuff we're going to get to. Love seeing that. Those look at, oh man, that material. I'm digging that. I'm going to find out what that is. I'm going to ask them. I'll let you guys know. Because I want to start seeing that more often. If you're going to have if you're not going to have an actual like double thick cardboard kind of thing, if you're having just a sheet, it should be that, because that is nice. Very nice. Sure, it costs more, but, you know, I've noticed this, by the way. Anytime you get, more indie guys like this, you tend to actually get higher quality, not lower quality, as far as I'm concerned. I think the new guys on the block always kind of, you know, because they try more, right? Okay, so it looks like these are actually bendable. Dare you tempt the hand of fate? It has a QR code. By using this QR code, you will be directed to the Doors database where your new challenges await you. And then on the other side, it has a special event as well. This is for Chapter 18, Encounter with Evil. And they're both 3, so I don't know what the difference is per se. It looks like you would be able to fold it. Right, so right there and there, but I'm not going to. So let's see, there's some more there. These are the doors. Okay, so what in the map, you'll have these doors set up. So I'm assuming this folds in. Like, I don't know if I should fold it or not. I don't want to break it. Anyway, you'll have the door, and then you'll open up the door, and it'll say kind of what to do. That one's a special event, so you won't know what the door is. It'll match the chapter though, so it's all thematic, and this one opens up, oh, it's going to open up this whole area here, or it's going to open up this area here and do different things, so you don't know what's beyond the door, and the door itself is actually what tells you what comes next. And as you can probably see, oh wow, look at that, it's even outside, huh? There's a ton of different doors. So that's, again, another very nice idea. I'm so glad that people are still changing things up in the dungeon crawler scene and really kind of trying. I think that's great. This right here, this kind of, this amount of different token trays and stuff like this reminds me a lot of Super Fantasy Brawl. Not necessarily in a good way. Sometimes I feel like it's piecemealed too much. I think these are save trays, perhaps. I'm not sure. But, and I guess what I mean by that is, first of all, it's more space, right, that I think it wastes. But I would almost rather just have one big tray than maybe like have a tray that has both of these spaces in it, as opposed to individual ones. Typically I like that. All right, so let's see what's in here. We got different. Oh man, we got dice in here. Oh man, random dice in this. Again, I don't know if I'll be able to remember which one goes. So here's some. Woohoo! Okay. So here is a 20-sided die. Very nice. Again, a premium die here. It's got the marbleization, which obviously means that it won't be weighted perfectly, but I don't know of any board game that uses like really accurate dice. Trust me, it's normally not. They rarely roll fairly well. perfectly even, like you would want like a casino or something. But I'm not seeing any imperfections in this, even in the painted in numbers. There might be, see, a lot of this is just that dust and stuff like that. This looks great. Then we have a custom Chiswick's dice where it's super curved, which I actually really like those because they roll more, right? The other kind that are hard, they tend to just land on a spot. A little scuffed up as far as I can tell. Not as shiny as this, right? Not the same material. You see how this one's shiny and this one's not as shiny. This one's marble, this one's not. But this does have custom symbols on it, which are very nice. It looks like 2 blank spots. So keep that in mind. And we got some little cards. Let's look at some of these cards. It looks like this is just a chest and then ingredients of some kind by the looks of it. This is much looser wrapped, which I actually appreciate. I don't want a tight wrap on my cards because I think sometimes it bends them. So a loose wrap, and it's a lot easier to open when it's loose. I'm not gonna accidentally cut a card or anything like that. All right, so these are, it looks like typical Zombicide size, if that, like the Spawn cards and all that kind of stuff. Full art on there all the way to the end. Deadly Arts, it looks like a little bit of a 3D effect there. It looks kind of weird, but okay. Different colors for different things. Commander, all commanders attack. This is a Defender, okay. Striker. And some potions. So a variety of cards here. I'll take a look at this. I'm not going to look at every single card. I'm not going to read every single card to you. I'm just trying to get a sense of the art, the UI, the style, the layout, all that good stuff. They are, by the way, not linen. They're like this. Well, no, they are. They're just very lightly linen, which is actually, again, not quite as reflective. So I kind of actually appreciate that. Looks like another potion here. So this is just a continuation. We've got 2 random potions that would go with that, but they need to be even. The Mimic, a whole bunch of magic crossbow. These are different items. Bracers of Avarice. I want that one. A light thorn mail, a kite shield, heavy hammer, tons of items here. Holy plate armor, brass round shield, a garnet amulet, a battle quiver, soul burning knife, cloak of invisibility, symbol of I love it. Hellscarian razor, and eldritch staff. Yes, please. Love the items. It looks like everything has a unique art. As far as I can tell, I didn't see any repeats there at all. Which I'm sure, I mean, that's expensive to do. That's a lot. But yeah, it looks like it's all unique. That's sweet. That's, see, symbol of endurance is that. I could have sworn I saw something similar. I wonder if they're changing colors. No, that's different. Different. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is all super unique. I know the potions, obviously, I think they probably just recolored. I'm not seeing one like that again, so I'm assuming I was wrong. Okay, here, this is always interesting. It's like, it has a shadow leather. I can't tell if that, for a second there, I thought that was like a female version. Sometimes it's funny when they do that and like your guy wears it, It's like, okay, what am I just dressing all special today, or? Okay, looks like even more items here, and then some other draw cards here, and then some enemies here. This is a familiar. I can have a wolf familiar. I'm getting a familiar wolf. That's what I want. That's what I desire. Love pet classes. Anytime I can summon a pet or have a pet, I'm all about it. Okay, so we got that. By the way, the 3D effect on here is super nice. I do appreciate that. Okay, and then we got just like a separator here by the looks of it. It is black. It is very sturdy, so that's kind of nice. Minis. We're almost there. So we got 3. Oh, see. We got separate ones down here. Okay, so it looks like we got more tiles and stuff here. I wonder if I can. It looks like I could stack more. I don't know why those weren't in there then. Like, why did I get separate ones at the top? I don't know. That's just all one thing. We got another blank one. That's 3 blank ones. And here, looks like they just kind of stuffed all of the, yes! Okay, these, I'll show them off. I've shown them off before, the Dark Rituals, but I'll show them off here too. I much prefer these over the hard one. These kind of rubber silicone ones. And that's because when you paint the mini and you paint the rim, and then those hard ones, those hard plastic ones will scrape the sides and make it to where it scrapes the paint. Even if you varnish it over time, just popping those on and off, they're so tight, they're going to scrape it right off. These flexible ones do not do that. They're much more forgiving about it, and I much prefer these. So that's very nice. Let's get a ton of them too. I don't know why they don't do them too often. I think sometimes they can be a little loose, but I've had plastic ones not fit too. So I think they're kidding themselves if it's actually better. Love that these are flexible. Super helpful as a painter. Okay, that was like this, and then like this, I guess. I mean, whatever. Oh, calm down. Go back in there. There you go. You guys want to look at some minis? Looks like, look at this. This is also very nice. Look, okay, so I love this. First of all, looking at this, the glue looks great. There was a little bit of rub part here from something that was in there. And this looks, almost doesn't look straight. But it's glued good here. I don't see any, this is actually a great glue job on here. But I love the place to reach into. That's nice. So you're not bowing it out or anything like that. There's a big guy down there. We'll look at him last. Okay, we got even more stuff for all the tokens that we print out. That's nice. So far, I'm in love with this. The tray is a snap-on lid. So the this part right here is what's making it that snap-on. Which is nice, and it's on all the corners here, so that snaps on super well. It does have a little indentation just to keep things flush, which is also nice. And we get a black, not clear, which means we can see the shape better. It's not crinkly. So far, everything about this is premium. I'm loving this. So as you can see, it's very high quality. There's a little bit of a split here, so it did break right there. I'm not sure why or how or who did it. I don't blame me. I just got here. But still, very nice quality. I'm enjoying that a lot. And not snap in, which means you can paint these to your heart's content. The snap in, again, that grind over time, even with varnish, will start to wear off on it. And sometimes they're so hard, they're just hard to even deal with. So kind of generic shape wells here, which I appreciate. Let's see if I can get them out. Oh my gosh, almost too flush. Okay, on the bottom, they actually, okay, we're gonna zoom in. We got minis. Let's zoom in. There we go. Okay. On the back, they have their creative game studio logo there with the beeple and the kind of pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. And my pointer stick. Okay, so looking at this. The robes and the detail level here is fantastic. Let me make sure I can move this so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Again, this will take a wash incredibly well, which I like. The base is just big enough for the mini. This happens a lot in board games, which I'm fine with. You don't need a huge base. And there is some sculpting on the base, again, putting them above Bloodborne miniatures, which is not hard. Come on, it's way below top tier at this point. There is some mold line here that is noticeable. The blade is not too thick. Sometimes you get those banana blades, but this is actually quite good and shaped well. The individual fingers turned out wonderful on all of these hands. There's quite a few of the hands. The chain is kind of an interesting style that I've not actually seen before. It's like interlocking, but it looks almost like braided rope, right? Like from here, it looks a little bit like chain. From the side, and it almost looks like a braid. It's just kind of odd. It's a little chunky, but I think it fits the cartoony style. The detail work down here is also looks like it's actually quite good. Goes all the way down. Maybe it gets a little muddy here, perhaps. The separation between the hand and the item here, was it was a skull? The top part of a skull. You know what? All of this looks good. I'm actually quite happy with this. It looks like it's single cast from what I can tell. I'm trying to see if this was separate, but I don't think it is. So again, you get that kind of flatness, but overall, I think this is turning out quite good. Sculpted inside of the, even here, inside of the robe sleeve, which is not always seen. And a little tiny bit of a foot with toes. With toes. Note that, Awaken Realms, you can have toes on your minis. Let's look at some of the heroes. Let's do that. Okay, so here is like a mage lady here. Look at the face. That is great. You got eyebrows, sculpted eyebrows. You actually have a defined cheekbone and chin there, which is also very good. The inside of this robe is not sculpted, but you would paint that black anyway. Same with this right here. You do have a mitten hand here, but it's true scale. That tends to happen. The fingers here are a little bit better because you can see the bottom two are wrapped farther than the top two. So you get that kind of, anytime they're not just perfectly flat, it tends to help, right? You see how these are just flat? So it doesn't quite look as lifelike than I think this hand here. We get that just slight, like your fingers are normally, you know, askew in some way. A little bit of a pore spout here you can trim up. You can see the hint of a mold line. However, I'm not really seeing it on the mini. There's a little bit perhaps right here. But that's about it. The hair looks great. Even towards the bottom, looks like it might in this pinch get a little soft in detail, but just a little bit. The detail work on the, oh my gosh, look at this. I didn't even notice this. This is all sculpted on, by the way, which is great. It helps the brush a lot when you're painting that. You can just kind of edge over the top of it and get that wonderful design to show up. The beads here look great. The sleeve here. This is, again, really, really great. The ears poking out look good. Yeah, all of this is nice. And again, the sculpted base there is much appreciated. And then it is flat down here. It would have been nice to have a little bit of a lip. Though it looks like there's almost a hint of it right there, but not anywhere else. But that, I mean, it's so low, it's still okay. You'll kind of see it there. It's fine. This looks awesome. Love that. All right, hopefully they're all that good, because that's great. Let's look at some crossbow lady here. Okay, so here's the ranger here. And the wood here is kind of interesting. Because it's textured versus there's no grain, right? Instead, it's like almost whittled, which is kind of interesting. Does have the bow string on there, which is very appreciated, actually. I kind of like that a lot. Looks like it's fairly straight. Again, they're super skinny because they're all true scale like that, which is kind of impressive. The detail work there is good. The assembly, this arm and this weapon are separate. But it was assembled quite well. The hair again looks good. Skirt looks good. The quiver with the arrows actually look quite good as well. I love the stuff in the hair. I think that's a neat trick too. And you can really see the with the hairstyle, which I think just again looks cool. And again, that sculpted base, much appreciated. As is the just the overall pose, as she's kind of like, because she's obviously leaning that way, but then looking this way, which is just makes it kind of interesting. This seems a little sharp of a turn there, but she must be like turning on her heels, maybe. Oh, look at this guy. Okay, so he's got the whole backwards. You can see his arm is twisted so that his elbow is now up here to hold the dagger back, which, by the way, is a good thickness. A little bit skinnier would be nice if you could, but you would, I think, have to use ABS on there. For the PVC, this is perfectly fine. A little bent. Again, the hot water treatment will fix that if you so care. 2 different blades. I appreciate that actually a lot, too. That he's looking down. All the little doodads and stuff like that on the leather armor and stuff are great. The fur here is nice, and it's a clear separation between that and the hair, which I like seeing. The hair on him right here, I think because of this mold line going up, anytime you get near a mold line, a lot of times you'll get a loss of detail, and I feel that's the case here. It's a little softer there compared to like here. You see the definite lines here? You see how there's like some softness here where that mold line is. That's why if you can, it's best to avoid the mold line there or put it somewhere where it's, I think, a little bit fairly forgivable. This is like a tube. If you had to have a spot, I guess it's okay. The crease in the hair, oh man, it went out of focus. The crease in the hair looks great as well. So he's looking cool. Let's look at shields. Shields are always important. Inside of the shield, you do have that wood grain. That's great to see. Love that. All the straps. This actually is some fantastic straps on the shield. That's really nice. That's really well done. Love the detail here. The interlay work on the hammer looks awesome. The pose is good. Look at the sculpted base here to give him a dynamic pose. You can't do that on a flat base. Your poses can instantly become more interesting if you do that. Again, just a hint of a mold line here. The mold line removal doesn't seem to be too bad. You could almost do without it. It's like right there on the verge. The shield does become like one with the guy here, which is a little kind of messy in my opinion. As again, it's just to keep that single sculpt as much as possible, as few parts as possible. But this actually still looks really nice. I'm happy with this thickness on here. Fingers look good. Palm looks good. You can see a little bit of a pore spout right there. No, this is good. I like it. All right, we got the dwarf guy here. Come on out, little dude. Very typical look. You've seen it a lot with the 2 weapons on either side. That being said, his weapons are quite unique. He has this kind of very interesting axe, I guess. I don't know, it's not even sharp. It's like a book with a handle on it. I'll have to look at, what is that? Hold on a second, what is that? What do you have? Okay, no, it's like a brute force axe hammer thing. Interesting. All right, dude. Well, that's a very dwarf weapon, I feel. So that's actually kind of fitting. Okay, well, that's super cool. So that's fairly unique. But what I like is that a lot of times when they do this, they are very symmetrical. It's just out and out. This is out farther back, and then this is, he actually kind of turns his wrist right here, which then angles this forward, which then matches his foot forward as well. So he's not just in this like angry stance. The hair looks great. Eyebrows look good. Everything on him looks great. A little bit of a muddiness right here, perhaps, but otherwise, I'm actually quite happy with it. Yeah, no, this looks great. Very, very cool. Okay, let's see here. Got some demon dude here with a freaking sweet weapon. Look at that thing. That's hardcore. Slight bend. Again, it could go a little bit more. Oh, okay. So see how it's bent there? It could go a little bit more straight there, like that. All right, and maybe this could go in like that. Again, hot water treatment could do that if you need to. These are actually quite skinny. They show up well, so I'm really happy about that. Very well-defined muscles. I feel, based off the shininess, do you see how it's slightly shiny here? That this is a PVC ABS mix. Which would explain the very crisp detail we're getting, while it's still being kind of the single cast, slightly bendy. That's why this isn't bent to Kingdom Come or anything like this. This is a very nice quality PVC. A lot of times they will mix some ABS in there, and you just get that detail. Is that a face or a skull? What is that in his armpit? That's weird. Okay, no, there's another one here. I think it's on his cloak. Oh yes, he's just got faces on his cloak. You know how it is. Look at that. Oh man, my wife will love this guy. And again, the detail work is. You can hear that. Can you hear that? Here's your ASMR portion of the video. You're welcome. So he is just standing there, which normally you're like, oh, he's just standing there. But with his kind of hand kind of slightly bent and his whole torso a little bit back as he hefted that over his shoulder, gives him kind of a relaxed look, actually, which I kind of like. And that very subtle lean in the torso where it's not straight, it's a little back for this whole stance, shows that the person who sculpted this really understands the anatomy of a humanoid figure and how that skeletal structure would work and how they handle weight and stuff like that, which I really appreciate. And this is just freaking sick. So there's that too. Man, I'm way more impressed with this than I thought I was going to be. Not that I thought bad, it's just, this is actually really good. Okay, so here we have Mr. Stitched Up, boils over the skin, gross dude. Again, look at there's actually eye sculpting inside of that little socket. So there's a little kind of dot there, which is very, very nice. There is no detail on the feathering here, which is fairly common, but I would have always liked a few little lines there if we could have gotten that. Would have been nice. And then again, this is perfectly smooth, which actually when it's angled down like this, you can see it. And so I would have liked this sculpted a little bit. Another alternative is to make a little bit of a lip, right? If you just do a little bit of a lip and make this slightly indented, then it's a lot more forgivable, I find. But otherwise, like looking at him level, you can actually see right down there. And obviously he's going to be down on, on the board or whatever. But anytime it's angled like towards where your eye would be, you kind of risk that. The little damage to that though, it looks great. All of this looks very, very good. I like that the fingers are separate. Again, not mitten hands. Of course, he has huge hands, so it's a little cheating. But there's some skeletal archer dude here. Love the skeleton face. Really, really do. I love how deep the eye sockets are. I love that he doesn't, like, he's bony, but it doesn't look like terrible. He's actually wearing quite a few clothes. He has a very cool quiver, actually, the style of it. Look how big that is. That's super neat. Wearing some armor. No bowstring, obviously, in this one, but we do have the whole shaft going down the arm, which is very common. It's a very common tactic. That being said, a lot of times you'll still get some fill, and I see no fill. That is almost a perfect execution of that. If you're going to do it, that's what you want to do there. That's what you're really well done. Another nice thing about putting the quiver here, as opposed to like over the shoulder or something like that, besides the fact that it's more normal, is it thickens up that waist a little bit, which should be almost a weak point here. Here, that should be the leg here. But yeah, no, looking good. Final sculpt of this tray, we get this demon guy on this like crazy, like swirling cloth thing with chains, and I think these chains look a little bit better than that other chain. But then we got some inlay work here, and obviously, you know, we got all the muscle and the veins and even some texture on the skin. The fingers are separate here, which is kind of nice. I'm not seeing a lot of flash either. Little tiny wings with some great texture on that as well. And then, of course, his face with his tongue out and everything, which I think is actually super cool. Love that his tongue's out. That's a great touch. Whew. All right, that was a lot. Let's look at that big guy. What do you say? Oh, man, look at that. Look at that. Upside down. I can shake this. It's not going anywhere. I'm not taking it out with no lid, and it's falling everywhere like Bloodborne. I'm still bitter. Okay. So here it looks like we have another tray with some silica gels. And I'm assuming this just holds different... Oh, this holds all the pieces you punch out. Those little Tetris shapes, right? That's what this is. And then it looks like some more tokens here as well. Very nice. This is kind of your map thing here. And then we're left with, oh man, even more. All right, zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm looking at here. There you go. More silica. A whole heaping pile. Wow, look at all this. This is a ton. Resealable bag. I appreciate that. I'm not going to bother opening this, but oh my gosh, there's a ton of these. Do you actually need this many? My goodness. Very kind of pastel colors. Like this is a red, but it's almost like a salmon pink, right? However, I can't tell all the colors apart. This is not, it's like a mustard yellow versus a yellow, right? And then even the white isn't necessarily pure white here. Black is black, so there's that. But these actually look quite good. There's a ton of them here too. My goodness. All right, let's put those back in. There's a lot of weight there. Okay, next up, let's look at some of these guys. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. Guy's got some big sword syndrome here. It's compensating. Again, love the style here of this guy. Huge base, still sculpted. Appreciate that. A little bit of a, maybe like a pour spout or some kind of weird ring I'm seeing there, but that's okay. There's actually a little bit of a lip on the rim here too, which is kind of interesting. And again, symbol on the bottom there. The chain here is probably my least favorite part of that. This chain, I think, looks great. This one looks a bit, I don't know, a bit soft, I guess, is like comparatively. And this happens a lot when they get big like this, for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but oh, well, there's also a mold line going up, which doesn't help, of course. Yeah, see, even this, not quite as impressive, especially because it seems to get flatter here. Kind of interesting. All the armor like this armor detail here looks great. These straps look good. The skulls and the fact that it's like roped through their eyes is super cool. Love the sword on here with the horn right there. I think it's super cool as well. You know, oh, okay, the horn actually wraps around from the whole skull that's implanted into here. That's super neat. And then there's like an extra extension blade thing going on here. That's also super cool. Love the grate over the mouth as well. Yeah, this is super cool mini. I actually dig that a lot. Let's see what else we got. We got 3 of those guys. We got some of these guys here. Oh man. Oh man, the texture on here is gross. We've got some like fuzzies or something. This chain looks better to me. It looks a little bit more crisp, so I like that. Again, this is like almost sausage links to me at this point. Painting them metallic would certainly help. And maybe that's why you paint. The inside of the mouth, this is my one disappointment of this mini, is soft. There's nothing, no texture there. It would have been nice to have a tongue or something. You're just going to, I guess, paint that like a dark red, perhaps, or something like that. The sculpt, again, he's like stepping on a person. It's freaking sweet. Love the base and the work that's here. And it's great. Oh, it's a skeleton guy. So I like that. He's got fingernails. So you can see he actually has fingernails, and he has little wrinkles like on his different joints and knuckles here. And then the bandage wrap looks good. And this is actually really, really well done. The meat hooks look good. Again, soft there as well. He has actual wrinkles on his palms. Very, very nicely done. The teeth are all sculpted well. All those showed up quite well, which I'm happy to see. Love that guy too. Alright, let's see. That goes like that. And then the only thing left is another silica pack. I'll just leave that in there though. And as you can see actually here, if I can have them fall out. I'll just move them here. The game trays do this a lot with the lid and stuff like that, but they'll kind of damage the inside of the box, which, you know, is whatever. I mean, it's not gonna hurt it any. I've never seen any damage there, but it does scuff it up, so you can notice that a little bit. Looks like, is this an extra tray? It isn't. Oh my gosh, there's more. What is this? Just more and more and more storage here for more and more stuff by the looks of it. I don't know why this is two. Ugh. I don't know if this is supposed to be so in like this. I'm gonna take it apart though. How about them apples? Okay, so you got a whole bunch of storage. I don't know why there's so much like this. I really don't. I'm not sure what purpose it actually has. Maybe they'll explain how the storage works, or I'll figure it out when I unbox everything. Let's look at the last big guy here. This is the main baddie of the core box anyway. Look at that staff there. So maybe some slight bend there, right? It should maybe be like that versus that. It's a little slight difference there, but oh my gosh, that like weird centipede spine chain thing going on here is like disgustingly cool. Again, with the faces all over, like they're swirling in here, which is super cool. That'll look amazing painted. He's also got him on his chains over here. This guy looks a little weird, perhaps, but I love the detail work here. That looks awesome. This is a very interesting. Is that like feathers going up? I'm not sure exactly what that is. Again, he's got the sculpted eyes there. He got a crown of horns. He's got a book that does have a little, bookmark there, so you can save his place, which is nice. And then actual like rune lettering on there, so you can paint that on there, which is nice. Some very big heads here. I'm assuming there's giants and stuff like that. Even these, actually, I wonder. Hold on, let me get. So sometimes the skulls are not all like the same size. So let's get a normal person here. Here's a normal person. Let's put their heads next to each other and kind of see. So it looks like these heads are a little bit larger. And that one's pretty close, perhaps. But like, these are really big. Now, with it being spirit heads, I think they get a little bit of a pass here. These are just heads on on some chains though, and it still looks like they're about a size too large. So I feel like this was enlarged, especially this one right here, right? So these could actually get a little bit smaller. That means, I mean, maybe there's giants here. I don't know, because this one right here is a good size. So maybe I stand corrected. Maybe these are just giants and other stuff like that, and they're not all human. Yeah, because see, like this is clearly bigger than this tiny one here. Then so they're all different. Oh, look at that! Look at that one. Oh, it looks awesome. Love it. So the one bummer on this is while this is all cool, it's on like a flat base here. I'm not seeing any warping, which is good. It sits flat, but like there's nothing here, right? So this is the most blank base actually once you get past all this. But he does look super cool. And again, all the wrapped chains look good in this weird, almost like a bug theme to me. Interesting. Anyway, there's him. Okay, so that is the core box. Let's get into an expansion. All right, the rest should go pretty quick here. Let's go and look at a dice set. Again, these are going to go a lot quicker than that. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Special symbol here. Let's go and zoom in a little bit. There we go. As you can see, the same exact style as the other one, except it looks like now a 1 is stylized as probably not good. And then it's just those. It looks like each person gets their own. Yes, and so again, they're all the same there. Just come in this little set with this foam kind of holder there, which is kind of nice, I suppose. Definitely nice to have those kind of custom dice like that, though, for sure. And then everybody gets their own. I actually love that gold, too. That's just kind of nice. We've got some different symbols here, but we didn't get anything, any symbols like that. I bet these are the class symbols or something like that. Okay. Next up, let's go ahead and look at some of these here. So this is just player trays. These are just kind of the non-branded. I don't know if these were Kickstarter exclusive or anything like that. We'll take a look at all that, and we're going to see everything. So you guys will know. But that was already kind of split open for me. Let's see what these trays look like. So not as pretty, obviously, though it is still custom at least. Let's take a look. Oh, this is interesting. Wow, okay. So we got a holder here. And again, they always have the Game Trays logo on there. I wish that wasn't always there. Same with here, you know. So they have the symbol there and the Game Trays here. This is actually, it looks like just one. This is one tray. This is trayz, but that's for the game trays, not necessarily for multiple. Unless there are multiple. I don't think there are. This is it. Okay, so your character card would go here, and then all your equipment stuff would go in there. And this on the side here, this is where your dice would go, your die. And I'm assuming your other items and whatnot would go there. Interesting, interesting. So it's one per. Is that right? Is that what I'm seeing? Like a big box for just that. So what's here? Build your own dungeon and player trays. This one is okay. Okay, so this again, I don't know if this must have been how they packed it, but these are the other ones in here. Yes. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. This is just kidding, guys. Oh, this is like packed full. Okay. All right. So here's another 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you get the 4. That's for the 5th player there. Actually, wait. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just have for number 6. And then, of course, the tray for each of them. In which case, this is such, I mean, again, it's very, very flexible. I don't know what they made this one out of, but it's very flexible. Like, extremely. These are for the cubes, by the way, all those colored cubes there. And then it looks like this is your health tracker, which is, again, also super neat to see. All right. It looks like you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So that one didn't come with one that I saw. All right, let's carefully try it. You know what? For now, I'm not going to fuss with it. Oh! Dropping stuff again. Okay. This right here. Like so. And like so. Alright. Build your own dungeon. We'll look at this, and then everything else is branded kind of for, you know, to look nice on your shelf or retail, whatever. And again, I have a little bit of a starting thing here. Right here this time. Where it's split a little bit. Which is super convenient for me. Alright. Take a look. Generic box number 3. And here, oh, I know what this. Gosh, I'm dumb sometimes. Okay, so this, this is the 3D portion of it. This is what raises it above, and then you put the tiles on there, right? So that's what this is. Let's go ahead and actually try it out. Oh, look, we got some outside ones too. I like that. That's what this is. If I take this. Going to open them all. May as well. Go all in. All in. Okay, so this would go on like so. There we are. And then the doors could go here, here, or here. And then you have these smaller ones here that you could also separate. It could go in like this. So maybe that goes like this, and then this could go here, and we'll go on and put this big one here. And then again, these are just, maybe there's some outside now, and that goes right here, right here. Sure, why not? Right there. And in fact, I'm wondering, could we stack that to where they're actually connected? Is that too high? No, it's not. It's still lower. Okay. Well, anyway, that's how that works. So now you know. Duh. Try to tell you. Cool. So just extra pieces to be able to put it all together. 2 of these, and 1 of those. All right. I think they're probably like this, maybe, sort of, kind of. Don't know. Let it go in. Will it close? I think it will. We lucked out. We lucked out. So slide this all the way in the back here. Maybe. There we are. Perfect. Okay, let's look at some branded stuff. Let's go ahead and look at Desert of Hellscar. This one comes with 2 new heroes of a new class, the Barbarian class. Very cool. This is not a standalone game. Okay, you need that. And on the back, you can see... Oh, man, look at that freaking worm. Yeah, let's look at that. Heck yeah, I can get behind that. All right. We will take a look. Whoop. See what we have in store here. All right. We start out with a book. This has different binding. This is kind of the more normal binding where it's just a some paper clips, and then it's, you know, looped right there. So this, in other words, they did it like this, and then they fold it, and then staple it right there in the middle. Same kind of thing though. New mechanics and rules. So they have a rune mechanic, Worm Digger's Assault, conducting the campaign after forging the weapon of the ancients, expansion icon, all sorts of stuff. Of chapter 1, lots of story. I'm actually impressed with how much story there is. It didn't say how many there are. Interactions, but all sorts of different stuff in here. Got the new map tiles. Again, very different theme-wise. So you can kind of see, looks like, is that inside the worm? Yes, because there's his guts down there. Lovely. Lovely. All right, and then we got a silica packet. Here's the character trays here. And the enemy. Let's go and take a look at the enemy. Oh, man, look at that. Look at that. That's fun. Body push, acid spit, corrupted by darkness, sharp bite, and spawn worms with a U. That's fun. Then you have the 2 different barbarians, Katarina and Torque. I like Torque. Very nice. Okay, put that down here. Oh, no, it's too big. Alright, that's fine. Okay. And here you got the whole symbol and stuff like that, which looks cool. Go ahead and take a look at some minis, huh? Start with these little guys. And I love that they reach out over the base, as you can see. And again, we have the sculpted base. We got some nice texture in here, even underneath here, which again, you don't even see without picking it up and looking, and it's still there, which is nice to see. There's not a whole lot to say about it. I like the kind of carapace that it's got there as well. It looks like it's almost overkill for the size here. They didn't need necessarily that much space. Looks like they kind of moved around a little bit too because they're so spacious. Okay, we have some chests here, which are super cool. Look at these chests. I don't really have chests that are shaped like this. They're this kind of rounded, cartoonish shape. Very finely detailed there. We got some chains. So it's kind of like a locked chest. Really big hinges. And of course the face there. You got 3 of those. And you got torque here. Again, kind of, flat on the X-plane. Or Y-plane or Z-plane. I mean, whatever. Some nice detail on the axe here, though. It is a little thin, maybe thinner than I would have liked. Some deeper cracks would have been maybe a little nicer, but that's all right. The chain here looks good. The skin looks great. Hair looks great. We've been through this a few times now. All that looks good. It's all attached to all this. Doesn't seem to bend too much. And again, overlaying the base is very nice. We have Katarina here, who has this big old sword here. I don't like how fat it gets there. It gets a little fat towards the end, more than I would like anyway. And it's actually, like, the sharp point looks like it's on this side, right? That looks a lot sharper than that. Anyway. I think it's cool that she's hunched over and towards the back of the base and kind of like at an angle from where she's facing. And again, the axe looks cool there. Love all the different stuff that's hanging off of it. It looks like there's like a little face thing here. Stuff like that adds a lot of character, which I do always appreciate. Otherwise, you got some doors that are already folded, so you can see how those look. Actually, if those are, I'll go on and show you one so you can see. That didn't unfold the other ones. So the doors just, stick in, right? And then you can actually open it up, and then you can scan it there to be directed to what the new challenges are, but then you can also open it up and kind of see, which is actually quite well done. That's actually super cool. So love that feature. I think it's really neat. And then you got a whole bunch of cards, which looks like it comes with probably new items and stuff like that. All right, let's look at the big one. This is nicely laid out, by the way. I actually like this more than the base game here. Okay, so again, just like the other big one, it is on kind of a very flat base here, but then the rest of it's sculpted. We get a little bit of the same thing with the whole swirling of death. I think this is representing the darkness that's kind of taking over everything, in which case it makes sense that it's kind of around these big bad bosses. That means that this guy is amazing. Look at the inside. He's like a predator mouth, right? But instead of eyes, it has like these other 2 things. Again, just more skulls in it, and gashes and spikes and different textures all over the place. Look at the veins on this. Crazy texture here. I'm not really seeing a whole bunch of mold lines. There's obviously a little one there, but otherwise it's mostly clean. The bottom side, again, is still sculpted, which is great to see as well. This guy looks freaking sweet. Super cool. Really like him, actually. That's awesome. That's a great expansion, because you get the new class, you get a whole new area, you get a whole new little mini campaign, a new boss to fight. I think that is cool. I like that. Maybe could have used one extra enemy, perhaps, but otherwise, I'm still happy with that. That's nice. Really nice. I like that. All right, let's look at some smaller ones here. Let's see. We have just another elf ranger. This is a new character. This is how the characters kind of come in. Just a single thing with some of their cards and then their miniature. And definitely it's sized based off of this, which. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it kind of makes sense. I would like to start to see instead of these boxes, and I don't know. I guess I'm I'm a little debatable on this. You know how Hot Wheels have like, or most action figures, they have a flat part and then the bulge where the car is, right? For Hot Wheels or whatever. It would almost be kind of nice if it was boxed like this, right? If the box was pretty much this size, I think that would almost be kind of nicer, right? If it was this kind of flat and then like that. I don't know how that'd look on the shelf. I haven't really thought all that through yet. I don't know. Part of me wishes it would be like that, but I realize that it's not. Okay, so anyway, you got the Elf Ranger here. And again, no double side, obviously, on this one. You got his cards and you got his mini. Let's look at the mini. Okay, so again, just like the other one, we have it flat here. It's actually slightly bent because his arm maybe comes out a bit too much, or either way, it's maybe slightly bent, which is a little odd. But I love how the quiver is right there, full of quivers, full of them. They don't have the most detail here, as you can see. It's a little kind of flat there. What does have details? Oh my gosh, look at his cape. Talk about a fancy cape. My goodness, this reminds me of the banners in Warhammer. And we have a different textured rock here as well. So he kind of has a unique base too that he's kind of stepping on, which again adds to that. The texture on there looks great. The bow is super fancy. The inside, funny enough, is like the worst part of his cape. There's like some mold line here you're going to have to clean up a little bit. Oh my goodness, this is insane. That's going to look gorgeous when it's painted. Really digging that. So that's that guy. That's his expansion. Keep going. I'm not going to even bother putting those in. I always struggle with these style boxes anyway. Let's look at another one. Let's look at a human Shadow Knight. Oh, that's a fun. That's a new, I'm not really explaining that that's new, but that's a new class, isn't it? It's like freaking evil Shredder here. I just said Shredder twice. Okay, so here's his card there. Looking all boss. Actually, what's interesting... Okay, no, there is red there. Just didn't notice because of the extra red here. The value of X in your skills is equal to the number of curse cubes you are holding on your hero board. So definitely something unique here that the other ones didn't have, which is cool to see. And then we're going to look at... Uh-oh, is this snapping? It is snapping. Well, that's weird. Why would they make that snapping? It's like the only one that is. Is this snapping? I just didn't notice. Oh, it is snapping. It's just a lot looser. Interesting. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the snapping. Don't like the snap-in. So to get rid of the snap-in, you can either get a blow dryer, right, and then get this hot, and then you can morph it, or you can cut it. Either one works if you want to paint these guys and not have it kind of rub against that. Okay, so again, all of the detail you could ever want is on these things. Very small details that will take a long time to paint, but it is there. Love the cape. Love how it's furled on the side there. Again, a unique base with the rocks. This is heavily bent, so we'll have to bend that. But again, hot water will fix that just fine. Love the kind of crease on the sword to catch all that blood. It's actually stabbed in to the ground there. Look at the wrinkle on that. Love it. That's super great. I think it looks cool. He's got a huge hand. I didn't really notice that, but I guess he does. He's got a big old hand there. He looks cool. I love it. It looks a little Darth Vader-ish, actually, there, if you ask me. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Man, see? Told you we'd fly through this. Let's go to the next one. Let's take a look at the Shadow World Adventure Pack. This comes with some new enemies and areas by the looks of it, which, again, always appreciative. Anytime you can add variety to dungeon crawlers. See, this is why I think dungeon crawlers work so well on Kickstarter. First of all, they typically have a lot of miniatures, right? But even if not, even if you're just using tokens or chits or anything like that, it doesn't even really matter. The variety is what really breathes into the world, right? Whether it's the variety of location or of quests or of that, you can just add stuff to them because all that stuff is content or variability that just kind of enhances the other content that you already have. And I think that's great. I think it's a very convenient way to kind of essentially go all in, and typically you piecemeal it less than you would be if it was retail. So again, normal kind of style booklet with the staples here on these kind of expansion ones. We got some credits at the outside here. Beautiful art. Look at that art. That's awesome. That's super cool. I love seeing that. Look, see, here's all the guys from the base game here. That's great to see, actually. That's super cool. I love it. And then, of course, we got all this like talking and interacting with different areas and people and stuff, and just all sorts of stuff. So a lot of stuff here. Look at the tile set on this. Look at that. That is trippy. We get some purples and pinks in here is what we're getting now. So definitely a wild area. Lots of variability there. That's cool to see. Now this is nice. I actually am fine with then sticking cards in the back here like this. I don't think these will cause too much fuss. There's some doors here and then it's a few cards here. It doesn't really need a tray. You could almost probably fit it on the top here. And then some enemies. Okay, what do we got here? Two different kinds of enemies. Got these guys who have seen better days, according to their tentacles bursting out of their heads. They got two little things here. These little guys on the side remind me of, I think it was called The Darkness. It was a comic book turned video game. They made two of them. And you had these two like little things on the side you could like attack people with. Something like the PlayStation 2. Loved it. Anyway, the hand is great. I love the individual fingers. I think that's awesome. Again, here the fingers look a little bit longer than here, but I think they're connected here. I see that. Very much petting it, very happy with it, not afraid to stick his fingers in his mouth. That's gross. This is just unsettling. It's unsettling because there's no head here. And then we have these guys, and again, snap in, or at least pressure, I guess more than snap in there. These guys do have heads. And again, they're holding their hand out. It's a little bit more together, very custom base here, as you can see. And I love the inlay here of this like lantern thing that they're carrying. I think that's awesome. That looks great. The chain looks good too, actually. It's all wrapped around them. That's a great chain. And I love that the dude's pretty much sideways. And again, great texture on the muscle as well. Just a good looking mini overall. From sculpt to detail level, I'm really happy with those guys. All right, that's it for that expansion. Again, the most of the stuff's in here, right? I mean, that's your meat and potatoes. I know I keep saying that, but that's what it is. Man, I'm just hungry. I don't know. I could go for some meat and potatoes right now. Actually, that'd be good. Okay. Well, we're making a big dent into this. Oh, we got another adventure pack here. This one comes with, wow, that looks cool. And again, a totally different theme, totally different location. That's what makes these, I think, so worthwhile. It just really spices up where you're going, right? So it's not the same thing over and over again. And then the fact that it comes with the missions and points of interest and just a new kind of area to explore. I think it changes it up a lot, which is super great. I'll have to be the judge of that, obviously, but really impressed with this so far. Like, I really am. This has been a ride. There's still a big Rise of the Undead Dragon. I'll be unboxing that last for you guys, so you guys can see that. It's a big old box, so I'm assuming there's a big old dragon in it. What Dungeon Crawl doesn't have a dragon in it, right? This one's a little bit harder to open for whatever reason. At least for me. Oh my goodness. But I struggle with basic things in life, so. And can I just say how great of a glue job this has been? I don't know who did their boxes, but like every single one is just completely smooth. No fraying or anything like that. Okay, again, same kind of thing. I'm just going to quickly leaf through, but as you can see, totally different experience than what you're getting otherwise. Love it. Here's some of that. I love all the splashes of the color that are everywhere. Yeah, there's some things are going down. Obviously. Okay, and then in the back you got your silica gel, you got your doors, and then your cards here, and your 2 new minis. Let's take a look. Alright, let's take a look at her. Miss Crab undersea world lady person thing going on here. So again, there's a lot of tentacles with faces going on here, which is a thing apparently. The dress looks amazing with that detail. Same with the like crustacean little zit thingies. Again, the facial expression is fairly blank. However, the features are quite good. You got cheekbone, you got nostrils, you got eyebrows, you got a chin, you got a jawbone, all of that on this tiny little face here, which is really impressive. The hair looks good. The crab claw thing is disgusting. I don't even know what's going on here. The depth of like the turn there and like in here and stuff is really nice. Really sells what it is, and again, she's taking up like the whole freaking base. Then you have these dudes, which are like full on like freaking lobster claw going on here with him. A little plain inside, and you do have that cleanup to do with the mold line there, but this is super cool. Love the height that this provides, and the fact that it's actually like, you know, there's nothing else blocking it, so it really has a lot of just dynamic look to it all there, which is super cool. Very cartoony, stylized head there, obviously. It looks like he has like a whole bunch of stuff stabbed in him, like an anchor or daggers or swords or God only knows what. The rope here, that's actually really good. This is almost the first time I think I've seen rope. It looks good. The wrinkles on the hands look good. Yeah, again, super cool. I like these guys a lot. So that's cool. You get a little pirate-themed area there where you can get kind of Davy Jones lockerish, which I think none of us would complain about. Okay, we're down to 3 more expansions. And it looks like they're all different shapes. So we got Monster Pack number 1. I don't recall a number 2. Did they make a number 2? Will we get a number 2? I don't know. Beats me. How about the monster packs, though? Sounds very... So again, this is so thick because of this guy here. Otherwise, it's just these little guys. Again, love the locking lids and all that. I did notice that we went... This is still premium, right? Like, it's not crinkly or nasty or skinny or anything like that. But it's not black anymore. I do prefer the black. It kind of freaks me out that they're upside down. But whatever. We'll look at the upside down guys first. Okay. So here is him. Oh man, look at the freaking stretch of neck that guy's doing. That makes me feel a little weird actually. That's gross. Look at just the detail over here. This is awesome. Oh man, the exposed kind of spine bone crap going on here, and then the big old hand here, and holding a skull, having more skulls here. Different size skull. Obviously, you're seeing a lot of different size skulls here, and then like this. Like, it's, look at it. It's like starting to come out here, and it is out here. And okay, they're nasty. Put those back. That's gross. These guys are interesting. So they got a big old stick here. The grain here, actually, I think it looks great. We got a little scythe here. I love how it's like, if we can get it in focus, there we go. Chipped in here, like it's like made of bone or something by the looks of it. And again, not too thick, probably about as thick as I'd like. I wouldn't want it any thicker than that. These are attached here, which really adds support, but then there's still some separation on this one to kind of, again, just make it seem more separate. There's a good change here of between the two, so they look like it. Again, another unique sculpt that I appreciate, and this texture stuff is just awesome. Another stretched out neck, which is it's still really freaking me out, and they're both going to the left. Did notice that. We got a nice rune here as well. Some more runes over here. Very cool. Let's look at the big baddie. Oh, then we got this guy. This guy here, which super awesome. Would love to fight him. Very unique kind of hammer axe style thing, which I actually really dig. This is attached, which I actually am fine with. A lot of times they won't attach that. I always wonder. I bet that's attached to it. It is good. But what that does is it helps it keep it nice and straight typically, which is good. It looks like it might be actually a little bent though. Maybe slightly. Again, hot water could do that if you're worried about it. Look at the detail on this wing. This is a super cool wing. It's very fleshy, right? But it's not like normally when you get fleshy, you get this, right? Just the lines. So even the lines, they put like little doodads and stuff in there to really kind of gross it up. But this is like folded, patchy skin nastiness thing going on there. Great skull face. Love that. I think they're going to paint up super cool. This whole chain stuff, again, very cartoony chains, and then the base. Look at all of the faces. Like the whole place is made of faces, just about. Love it, love it. Super cool. What a great bad guy. I like him a lot. Any more? Oh, like see, here he is on the front there too. There he is, right there. I would love more monster packs, so hopefully there's more than one. I'm all about that. Like I said, adding that variety is key. It really, really is. Okay, 2 more, and they're both big. Let's go for the Spoils of War. Oh my gosh, we're getting into the big ones now. I gotta zoom out here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is the big one. Let's see. So right here, we have a ton of stuff. This must be like the Kickstarter unlocks, the stretch goals and stuff like that. Deluxe player board. Deluxe player board is an alternative version of the hero board that you can use. It features skills and artwork in an alternative version, but it's practically functional. But its practical functionality is similar to the traditional hero board with no real difference between the others. Use your favorite. Well, that's kind of cool. So just a different style. In fact, I want to say this was this the original style they showed? I want to say it was. It seems like it was when I watched, I think, a gameplay. What else was there? What else were they calling out here? Multi-class. Oh, that's super cool. So you can do dual classes here. Interesting. A lot of neat stuff there. Okay, this is definitely adding some oomph there. Look at this. A lot larger. But it looks like it maybe holds more. But yeah, see, because I remember seeing it like this. This was the way I saw it. So you don't see the full character art. See, this is what I'm talking about, where you typically only see torso. But it does look nice. Like, really nice. Oh man, there's so many. Let's see if there's any new ones here. We know about Maya. Okay, so it is double-sided again, just like before. The priest guy, got him. The 2 mages. 2 dwarfs. Okay, so see, they even give you this. So even if you didn't have that expansion, you have the character board here. Path of the Paladin. Oh, see, that's new. Oh, dude, look at that dude. A freaking Draconian Paladin. Heck freaking yeah. Vampire Shadow Knight. Yes, please. A Sorcerer. Got a Draconian Sorcerer. A Halfling Bard. I mean, why not? It looks very fawn-like for a Halfling. Then a Human Bard. And we have Druids. Yeah. Oh, look at the puppy with the spiked collar. Nope. Sold. Sold. Willow. Yep. Halfling Druid with the wolf. Let's do that. Done. Done, done, done. I'm all about that. Know who I'm playing. Human Monk. All by herself. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, these are super cool. So does that mean we don't get the other version of those other ones? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Guess we'll see. A whole bunch of guys here, a whole bunch of guys there. Let's go 1 tray at a time, people. Oof. Ugh, there we go. Okay, and again, I do love, like, these are just nice. And we're back to the black. Back in black. Okay, Walking Horror. We got some enemies and stuff here. Got some various cards and whatnot here. Got some minis. Zoom in on the minis. You know how I be. All right. Again, love the depth. Whenever you can like go into a mini like that, I think it looks great. This thing is, again, super disgusting. Love the height. Again, Really appreciate that. Hate painting it. Like, good luck painting right in here. Right, like this kind of stuff, this coiled stuff, they do this with snakes a lot too. It looks super cool, really hard to paint. Best thing I could probably advise is to put this in the freezer. If you put it in the freezer, like overnight, and you wake up in the morning, you can snap it right off the base. 95% of the time, they're just using super glue, which gets brittle when it's cold like that. The plastic is totally fine. It'll literally just snap clean off perfectly. Like I've done it before, it works really, really well, because then you can, from underneath, come in and paint it, and that helps a lot. Or prime it black and pray that that works good enough. Texture on here is great. Again, lots of very organic kind of coils and stuff like that. It's almost haphazard, which I actually appreciate. Looks like we just got bad guys here. We got freaking nasty worm in the mouth dude here, who's disgusting. Love the torn, stretched little bit of cloth he has here. This is actually a great texture as well, though it is solid there, but that is really, really nice texture. I appreciate that. That looks great. Yeah, these guys are just gross. The assembly on here is actually quite good. It fits very well in there, which is nice. And again, I love that he's coming off the base. I love, like, because if the base is too large, it seems almost framed, right? You don't necessarily want them to see framed. You want them to seem like they're on the ground. So I think that works quite well. It's kind of hard to grab these out without this. When you can't have enough blades, you get this. A little fat. Like, especially this one. This one's quite fat. Like, maybe they're all fairly thick. This one seems a little bit better. Fairly thick here, and look, we even got another one here in front. She is ready to attack anybody on this flat axis. Again, it's like sandwiched, right? Oh, look at her feet. I noticed her feet. Grody. Cool. I like it. That's some presence when it's, that big, right? Okay, then we got these guys here, which again, super, like, they're just taken over. Like, these bases are just almost gone, right? They're still sculpted, but there's so much else going on here. Oh, look at that big old spike coming out of his back. Again, got a little tiny arrow there, which seems smaller scale than some of the other arrows I got. If there's one thing, I'd still kind of question the scale on some of these. Love this right here. This looks great. The spike here looks good. Oh man, I love how, like, his skin, oh, come on, focus. His skin is like torn here. Do you see that? Freaking nasty. Oh man, that's grody. That's what that is. Last guy on this is this guy here. Barely even has a face, but there's one right there, I think. And again, look how far off the base he is. I love that. I think that's great. And it helps that they're smaller than in that case, right? This is actually quite good. The chain here is good. Detail on all the back is good. Him exploding is good. Not really a lot to complain about there at all. Again, tiny head here compared to, again, some huge heads elsewhere. It's all over the place. Helps that it's cartoony, I'm sure. And we got some room for some cards there by the looks of it. So I'm assuming next is heroes. And, aha, perfect. Okay, good. So you do have the other boards for these guys. So that's great to see. And it looks like we have a kind of, oh, this is for the, I don't know what this is for. Dungeon roll. Interesting. And then we have the more silica packs. Don't want any mold in there. Multi-path kind of thing. This is cleric and warrior is what this is. So there's discipline and holiness and light and blade master. This looks freaking cool. Heck yeah. This is a hero class and assassin. So there's deadly arts and trickery and acrobatics and shadow arts. Oh man, that's freaking sweet. I love it. I'm all about that. Okay. One more expansion after this, guys. One more expansion. Okay. Got a lot of stuff here. Let's look first at the wolf. Heck yes, look at this guy. Oh, look, she's all tiny on him. Look at the halfway freaking baby. Look at the difference. What the heck? That seems really tiny. That seems like itty bitty tiny. Like, I get it's a big dog, but like, I don't know. She seems really tiny. Is that? I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'm reading too into it. But oh my gosh, she's tiny. So she's literally like riding her normal sized dog. So they're a freaking toddler. That's what she is. Love the dog though. That's weird. Here is a wolf here. Which actually, look at the size difference here. Man, the sizes are just all over the place. He's just tiny comparatively. Maybe he's giant? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here anymore. I'm so confused. Love this though. Again, custom base. Texture looks good. The tail's a different texture, which I appreciate sometimes when they change it like that. Oh, these halflings are just teeny. Look how he's so tiny. What's he gonna do? Look. Oh my gosh, they are itty bitty people. I didn't realize they were that small. My goodness. I guess he almost goes up to his waist. Just about. Wow. Look at him. Actually, now the base is big. I want to play a little halfling guy. Can you imagine just going through the whole dungeon, this little tiny dude, just stabbing people in the shins? Got more chests here. It looks the same as the other ones. There's more of them. Yeah, see, look at this freaking... Look, this, look at that dude's skull compared to... It's like almost... It's like his torso. Oh, man, love it. Look, I love the stabbing into the ground stuff that they're doing here. And again, the style of beard looks great. Mohawk looks awesome. All the like battle scars and stuff look great. Great looking mini here. Some of these wells are almost seem too big. This guy, again, the freaking dresses they got going on are it's fantastic. Look at his wrinkles on his forehead look great. Love his little hand holding thing there. Multiple layers here. Super cool. I just love how stylized all these guys are. Kind of already looked at this guy here. Again, that staff looks awesome. The horn is a nice touch here. Oh, I'm gonna drop him apparently. Stitching's cool. The book again has these like runes and stuff like that, which are really, really nice. Loving the stances a lot of these guys have. This is a very cool kind of thing here. I don't even know what you would call this, but I like it. And again, look at the eyebrows and stuff, and it's just the hair texture there. All the details here, really, really nice. Really nice. My biggest complaint, I guess, on all of them is this kind of like really plain inside thing there. Okay, look at this. Look how skinny this is. That's actually great. And again, I think it's that PVC ABS mix that I think they're using here that really helps it out. Love the upturned head. You don't see that a lot in minis, and I like that his is there, and it matches his kind of, you know, I have created fire kind of Castaway meme moment there where he's, you know. But no, it works out really, really well. Love the tail. Glad they included that. The texture on here is awesome. Whoop, I'll throw him down. I'm so excited. Let's see. We've kind of already looked on her a little bit. But love that she's looking down. Again, that's very, you know, an interesting idea. Love the giant horns as well. And a totally different style tail, as you can see. Kind of goes into the ground in kind of a weird way. I wish it didn't. I wish it looked more like it was laying on top of the ground than part of the ground. Detail on here looks great. Cloak looks good. All right, what we got here? We got this is the sun, the monk lady. Again, love that they essentially are using her pole to balance her, so she's really only on like one leg. It's a very cool pose. Love how thick her leg seems, by the way. I think a lot of it's this padding here, but she does look muscular. She's got some muscles here too as well. And those big kind of like, you know, beads that you see like Buddhas wear and stuff like that, which I think is super cool. Also, a little bend there. Again, you'll have to hot water treatment that, but that's no problem. Got a freaking bear, because why not? I mean, why not? And again, like this bear seems kind of small compared to the person, right? I mean, it's not that big of a bear. It's a little bear. I mean, This bear is about as big as a German Shepherd. The scale's kind of weird. Sweet rock though, love that. Love the entire sculpt, and kind of what they did with it there. Looks great. Has a tongue, has teeth, eyes, ears, tail, everything you would want in a bear. Okay, I love the right before launch pose of this. A lot of times you see them kind of already launching or maybe just landed, but this is very much like even the body's kind of down, right? As it's about to kind of swoop up, which is a very cool idea there. I like that. And this does, thankfully, doesn't look very out of place here, the tree there. Sometimes it looks like it's planted on top, but that looks good. We got this guy leaning down, which is an interesting pose. The only thing that's kind of weird about this is going throughout the whole campaign, like, you know, like just like you're fighting a boss like this, right? Just kind of funny, but also a very unique pose and maybe tells a bit about the personality there. This is a bit too blended into the leg for my preference. It'll be kind of no, there's a good delineation there. When you paint it, it'll be all right. The collar is great with the kind of inlay there, though. This is also, I want to focus, his neck seems really long. Perhaps it's just me. I don't know. It looks like a very long neck. Two more. Again, all these, this one's a bit more, you know, like I'm about to attack kind of pose. Great texture here on the like padded leather. Like, it looks really nice there. My only complaint is that he looks like Dick Van Dyke from the Dick Van Dyke Show. In my opinion, maybe it's just the hairstyle and kind of general, slightly longer face there. That's kind of funny. Love, by the way, the hands. Look at all those. Look at the fingers. That's great. Last guy. This is that a boomerang? He's got a freaking boomerang. I dig it. Look at that guy. Love it. And this, you know, like, I think that pose actually makes sense for about to throw a boomerang. Very interesting. Oh gosh, look at that. Oh, it's gonna be awesome with the wash. These are just dying to get washed. Okay. All right, so we found some midget people, and we found a whole bunch of other fun stuff in this one. This was a cool tray for sure. We have one more to go for, and that is the Rise of the Undead Dragon. I like every word in that sentence. So color me interested. All right, I'm gonna just put all of this back in, just like this. There we go. Get in there. You're done. There we are. All right, last one, guys. This is it. Oh. Zoom out for this one. There we go. Rise of the Undead Dragon. Sweet. Exciting. Let's do it. Look at that. Drask the Draconian Paladin. 2 new heroes and a new hero class of Paladins. This is where the Paladin came in from. Very cool. A very big box for them. That explains why I didn't see those guys. So we've kind of already looked a little bit at him. But there's the Draconian Paladin and then some alternate version as well. We'll see him in a moment here. Got some tiles here. Look how zoomed in this is, right? Compared to how zoomed out some of the other ones are. Oh no, is this all zoomed in? Maybe it is. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, these all look close, which is kind of cool. Okay, and again, we get the typical thing we're used to with all the content in there. And then we have the dragon. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Is there... There are. Okay, let's take a look at him last. Look at this. So it's funny how each one's kind of stored a little different. So in this one, it looks like they had enough room to put the doors and cards in here. And again, we get a few extra chests. We get chests all the time. I don't know if the face is changing. I don't think so. I'm going to zoom in for these guys because they're kind of small. Look at the 2 heroes. Here's the Draconian Paladin here. As you can see, looking down, again, I do appreciate when they're doing stuff like that. The straps are always good on these shields. Very nicely designed shield, by the way. Again, coming off the edge, using up the whole base. Pretty much nothing to not like out of that one. And then we have freaking flails. Love it. Again, unique weapon. Look at that shield that she's got. She's freaking... Okay, so one thing here is her arm, as skinny as it is, holding out this big old giant shield, it's super cartoony. Which fits the style, so that's fine. It's very high fantasy in that sense. And again, look at that. Like they just... First of all, this is a half shield, or a half kind of cape thing, which I really dig. That's super cool. And then she has kind of a shielding over here for that side. These like, striped pants are cool. She's maybe one of the more unique ones design-wise. I really dig that. Again, looking down, love the flail. Super cool. Man, that freaking shield. Oh, that is one of the coolest paladin minis I've ever seen. Then you get these bad guys here. These kind of like, it looks like orc guys by the looks of it. Yeah, they got a freaking sweet shield too. All these shields are super cool. I dig all of that. And again, a super cool weapon as well. And then I don't know what these things are. Just different like heads. Looks like pig heads or something like that. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. First card, Overwhelm. Looking forward to it. Put that down here. Keep that up here. Let's look at this dragon. Let's look at the dragon. Zoom out a little bit. That's what we're going to have to do. There we go. Fully sculpted base. Really appreciate that. And a great sculpted base at that, too. This looks awesome. Wings fully out, kind of attached at the arms. So they're really secure. This is solid. There's nothing hollow here at all. The assembly looks quite good. Really happy to see that. Rib cage showing is awesome. Again, this is an undead dragon. That same kind of patchwork skin, which I really appreciate from that demon, is on here as well. So that's nice to see. Very ribbed, kind of bony, plated tail. That is, looks like it's attached. They did glue it onto the rock there, which is a nice touch as well. The bottom of the feet do have... it's actually not flat. It's a little dark there. There you go. You can kind of see it there. Oh, look, it has a big old symbol there. But there is texture there, which is nice. Little wrinkles. Big old chest here. The inside of the mouth is sculpted. It doesn't have like the ridges. I like to see those lines perhaps, but it's not flat either. It has those kind of gum ridges there. Super cool. I like that he's looking down because it means he's looking down at the enemies or at the heroes. So... very cool. I like how low to the ground and then how wide he is too. Definitely a unique, like super wide, as you can see here, which I really appreciate. Cool guy. All right, guys. That's a lot of game. I guess I'm gonna have to get started on reading all of these, the rule book, and get started on playing. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. If you have any questions about anything, comment down below by all means, and I'll talk to you guys again really soon.